Ryan Reynolds here for, I guess, my 100th Mint commercial. No, don't. No. I mean, honestly, when I started this, I thought I only have to do like 4 of these. I mean, it's unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month. How are there still people paying 2 or 3 times that much? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be victim blaming here. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/save. Whenever you're ready.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
This episode is brought to you by Amazon Prime. There's nothing sweeter than baking cookies during the holidays. With Prime, I get all my ingredients delivered right to my door, fast and free, no last-minute store trips needed. And of course, I blast my favorite holiday playlist on Amazon Music. It's the ultimate soundtrack for creating unforgettable memories. From streaming to shopping, it's on Prime. Visit Amazon.com/Prime to get more out of whatever you're into.
It's Fit Nation. It's Fit Nation. It's Fit Nation.
Awesome.
Outside of this one church town, there's a gold dirt road to a whole lot of nothing. Got a deed to the land, but it ain't my ground. This is God's country. We pray for rain and thank Him when it's falling, 'cause it brings a grain and a little bit of money. We put it back in a plate. I guess that's why they call it God's country. I saw the light in a sunrise, sitting back in a 40 on the muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water and shine with the dogs running. Saved by the sound of a pin-found Dixie whistle in the wind that'll get you heaven bound. The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. This is God's country. We turn the dirt and work till the week's done. We take a break and break bread on Sunday, then do it all again, 'cause we're proud to be from God's country. I saw the light in a sunrise, sitting back in a 40 on the muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water and shine with the dogs running. Saved by the sound of the pin-found Dixie whistle in the wind that'll get you heaven bound. The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. This is God's country. I don't care what my headstone reads or what kind of pine wood box I end up in. When it's my time, lay me 6 feet deep in God's country. Sunrise, sitting back in the 40 on the muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water and shine with the dogs running. Saved by the sound of the pin-found Dixie whistle in the wind that'll get you heaven bound. The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. This is God's country. Yeah, I saw the light in a sunrise, sitting back in a 40 on the muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water and shine with the dogs running. Saved by the sound of a pin-found Dixie whistle in the wind that'll get you heaven bound. The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. This is God's country.
All right. Welcome back to Misfit Nation. If you're a veteran and you're struggling or feel like you're leading a path towards the darkness, stop and think about those who are around you. Think about how they truly value you, how they will miss you. You are not alone. You need to talk to someone. Someone will listen to you. If you feel like you'll be a burden to someone, or you feel embarrassed to share what's going on in your head with those around you, call the anonymous hotline at 1-800-273-8255 and take option 1. Don't make a permanent solution to a temporary problem. If you're a new listener, thanks for joining us. Please subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast apps, to include the Military Broadcast Radio app, and check out our family of shows there, all hosted by veterans throughout the country. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at _Misfit Nation. That's _Misfit Nation. Subscribe and click the bell. This will keep you up to date with our latest news, episodes, and of course, the stories of our guests. Speaking of which, our next guest is the co-founder and COO of My Tennessee Home Solutions, a real estate solution company composed of veterans dedicated to hard work and service in the civilian world, just as they were during the time and service to their country. Our guest is currently transitioning out of the military. He looks to help others use their God-given gifts and talents to help them, to help themselves and others. So without further ado, let's welcome Charles Chandler to the Misfit Nation. Welcome, Charles. How are you doing?
Good, man. Thank you so much for having me on. I hope you had a great Memorial Day weekend.
I hope you did as well. And congratulations on fulfilling your time in suits and in your boots and transitioning right over into the suit world and real estate world. And that's a big jump right there from being a soldier to being a civilian, right down the street, basically, for you, an inch and a half on the map, I guess.
Yeah, it's a lot of transferable skills, honestly, too. You know, it's just all about relationships, talking with people, developing good, strong, just genuine and authentic care for people and wanting to help people out. And so a lot of that from the Army, the military, like I said, it really is a lot of transferable skills that bleed over very well.
Awesome. So, Charles, if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about your backstory, your journey into the military, and to how you came up with the idea to start this and to where we are now.
Yeah, so that dates back to 6-year-old Trey. Trey's my nickname.
Okay.
I received a catalog from West Point, and I thought the pictures looked really cool, and they played dress up, and I thought that was probably the coolest thing ever in the world. However, I took quite a detoured route to get there. Did a lot of sports, involved in church. Just grew up with my mom and I. My dad unfortunately passed when I was a lot younger, but I did have pretty good, strong male role models growing up. Just nothing very stable to kind of really learn from over time. But that kind of built in more of a nurturing factor on my end, being close to my mom. And so out of high school, enlisted in the reserves initially because I did want to go the officer route. And the college that I went to, the reserve unit that I was part of in my hometown was all kind of co-located. So being close to home, family, in a familiar location was ideal. But after basic training, coming back to the reserve unit and starting ROTC in college, I got the opportunity to attend West Point's prep school. My professor of military science saw something in me that, sparked, the idea to at least nominate me. And then I'm very, very fortunate that he did that. So I went to West Point's prep school and then to the academy from there. But the goal is always the same. I wanted to be an officer, specifically an infantry officer. Wanted to, have that as part of my life and part of of my experience growing up. So that's kind of the long route to finally get to the end state that I was trying to get to. I just got classically lost along the way.
I mean, you set a goal from a picture pamphlet you got at 6 years old. That's outstanding. Thought they just played dress up and had fun.
Yeah.
And then you took the route to get there, reserve route, and then the prep school and into West Point. What was your class? What year did you graduate West Point?
2017.
2017. Okay. Mm-hmm. Then you went right to Deming from there, or?
Yep. So I again took a little bit of an unorthodox approach. At the time they had the ability to send newly commissioned lieutenants if they wanted to Ranger School first, as there's assessments throughout the school year and kind of an order of merit list. So I was fortunate to be part of that small group, and had a great group of individuals that went, at least from what we saw it as, a free attempt at going and kind of seeing what it's like before going to the infantry basic officer leadership course, which is generally what your first stop would be. So I did Ranger School first, and then the infantry basic officer leadership course. And then from there, a fairly standard pipeline to then get to my first duty station, which was the 101st at Fort Campbell.
Nice. Who are you with that 101st?
1st Brigade with 2327 No Slack.
No Slack. I'm a No Slack veteran myself from the 96 to 99.
Awesome.
So we got some brotherhood there. Outstanding.
Yeah.
So when did you come up with the idea to get into the real estate business? Well, was it while you were at Campbell here?
It was. So a good friend of mine, really hardworking, driven individual, Jordan Isham, my partner. He was a West Point class of 2018. I knew about him, was aware of who he was. Again, just from afar, just knew like that's an individual that's going somewhere. Very fortunately, we were able to reconnect back at Fort Campbell. We both were at the infantry mortar leader course down here at Benning, and I kept noticing he would always just do something slightly different than what seemed, I guess, on a normal break, you just want to talk with the guys and mess around and tell jokes, but he was always right to work, pulled his laptop out, got on the phone. So I knew he's up to something, and I just kind of took an interest, and he just opened a whole new world to me about what he was doing with flipping houses, wholesaling, buying rental properties, and doing all this amazing stuff. Because at the time his unit was deployed to the southern border, and he just took full advantage of time availability given to him. And from that, it really planted the seed hard in my mind about, what if I did do something slightly different? And he just asked a simple question of, have you thought about the work ethic you put towards the military into maybe something real estate, or what he called at the time a side hustle? My wife took very kindly to that, and also kept pushing me towards getting into the real estate investing realm. And really from there, the conversation just continued. Jordan invited me out to a real estate investing conference out in Denver. I showed up. I owned just my personal house that I stumbled through to purchase with my VA home loan. Didn't even know what an appraisal or inspection or anything was. I was super confused, and I felt very out of place, very uncomfortable, very out of my element, which I kind of needed, because I think I was reaching caps of growth and opportunity through the military. Because at some point you kind of hit a wall, and you just want more. And so being there kind of opened my eyes to what is more defined as. And so we ended up partnering on a deal together. It went very, very well. And then that was our proof of concept to then take off and reinvest, and then develop and start a company.
It's outstanding. And how long have you been doing it now? Is it a couple of years?
We're at a year and a half.
Nice. That's a tidal wave of playing and getting success at a quick rate. That's good. That's real good. Did you get a Tennessee real estate license, or did you get a national license to do real estate?
So none of us are actually licensed except for my wife, so that when we list the properties after we rehab them, fix them up, she can put them on the market for us. It's good to have something like that in-house, as well as any comparables or information about properties that we need to know, so that we know that we're making a good offer initially. We know that we're going to get the property at a good price, because everything we do is off market acquisition side. And so it's just a whole different ballpark than dealing with anything on market with agents and whatnot.
I'm sure it takes out a lot of the middle people that are involved in it that way. And you can pick the properties you want based on what's out there and the inventory that you can find off market that needs help, needs rehabbed, flipped, and repurposed so people have places to live.
Yeah, absolutely. And the big thing about what we do is, we don't do any cold calling or randomly texting people or anything like that. We just have a pretty good website that just immediately shows people who we are, that we try to take care of people. try to solve problems. Really, that's the big thing. We want people to understand and feel that, the situations that they're in or that they find themselves in, or inherited properties or probate situations, or very unruly tenants, that it's okay. And that we sympathize, we empathize, and that we're postured to be able to really help and solve any of those issues that people face.
That's outstanding. And I read in your bio helping veterans, composed of veterans, helping people find their God-given talents. Besides you and Jordan, how many other veterans are with you? Or is it just you two so far?
So there's 7 of us total on our team. My wife is one of those, but the remaining 6 were all veterans. We've had 2 individuals that recently transitioned, completely ETS'd out. They were able to take advantage of doing the CSP program, which is an amazing program available to service members. And so they were able to intern with our company, and then we were able to so yeah, I love that part. Yeah. And so we were able to, get them back, full-time onto the team. And so that's a big outreach internally that we have, because we want A players that, they have strong work ethic. They already have the good morals and foundation of just being a genuine good person, good people skills, leading, working with individuals, dealing with a ton of obstacles and issues that, that come up in life. And we face that a lot on the residential seller side. So
that's outstanding. And the CSP program, I think it started the year after I retired, and it's an amazing program. We've had, I think, 3 interns at our office on Fort Campbell now, over the last year and a half, and 2 of them have went on to great things because of openings other places just by interning with us. And that's something I wish they had when I was coming out, because it would have helped out a lot better for the transition. And speaking of transition, you would be looked at as a transition success right now, even though going through the process of the transition. What advice would you give to those who are in the weeds right now in their transition and trying to figure it out, maybe 6 months out right now?
Yeah, roughly about 6 months out. You have a ton of time, but then you don't at the same time. I really think when you're hitting that 6-month out window, you really need to start taking care of yourself, and start making sure that you're postured correctly, that you have your appointments lined up correctly, and that you're just reaching out and networking. When you delay, and I've seen this happen too many times, when people delay, they put off, or they try to give a little bit more, and then the second you're out, there's no more going back and wishing that you could redo something. So you got to draw the line in the sand at some point. Start taking care of yourself, reaching out there's so many different types of Facebook groups out there. You can search anything and find a good Facebook group that can have good forums, good questions and answers. Reaching out to there's tons of really good, especially at Fort Campbell, tons of really good on-post assistance for individuals that are transitioning out. And if you don't get on the phone, if you don't send emails, if you don't make calls and text messages, you're really just hurting yourself, and you're setting yourself back. So I think back to going to that conference in Denver, feeling very uncomfortable and out of my element. And that's okay to do that. And that feeling should be good, because then I think that's when you know that you're getting into that transition process and putting yourself out there. Because everyone generally wants to see everybody succeed and do well, especially transitioning veterans. People want to, help them take that next step. And I think a lot of people would be very surprised if they just start reaching out to others, and the people that you can get connected with, even just through that, is monumental.
And I think, like you said, if you're not marketing yourself, no one's going to market you for you. You have to get out there, push the buttons, and text, email, call. Sometimes those are cold calls. Something you look up online, found the number, just call them, say, hey, I'm Joe coming out, and this is my skill set. I can bring this to your company. What do you got for me? And hopefully it works. If not, they say, oh, yeah, I got a guy for you, and call this number, and it starts to steamroll down, and you find that place in your next career, and it works out well for you that way. And speaking of the cold calls and marketing yourself, for marketing your business, how do you do marketing and then convert that into actual leads, I guess, for your business?
Right. Yeah. we got to have leads to come in order to even have a business, right? So a big thing that we focus on is our website. We see it more as an authority hub and credibility. There are a decent amount. The competition in Middle Tennessee and Nashville is huge with real estate. And now you get into the off-market space, sell my house fast or whatnot. And so cash home buyers. So how do we differentiate ourselves? A lot of it is through our messaging and our online presence, Google pay-per-click, paid ads, Facebook ads, just to have the consistency of pattern interruption when someone's on their phone scrolling. But we really do have a huge emphasis on our search engine optimization on our website, to where people immediately feel that they've met us before they've even talked to us. And so having the engagement in the local community, we do run some television ads as well, so that people can see our team members, talking on television, body language, what they sound like. That way, when we're in person and talking with individuals and shaking their hand, it feels very natural, warming, and kind of more of a less, tension or trying to get on equal, just neutral ground, really, with individuals.
Awesome. If you can go back to 6-year-old Trey reading that brochure, would you change his mind, or would you say, hey, blaze forward that path?
Yeah, you got to blaze forward. Yeah. Very, very glad with the decisions made so far. Yes, I am closing the chapter of the military, but it was instrumental to where I'm at now. And I think a lot of veterans realize that, very proud and feel very accomplished and good about their time in and their service. But one thing to also always remember, the military has a 100% get out rate.
Yes.
At some point, you will get out. What do you want to do with those lessons learned, with those friendships made, past that and beyond that. And so, as of right now, I feel very content and able to just utilize a lot of those strengths and weaknesses and just try to keep pushing forward to like help someone else, mentor other people. But yeah, right now it's definitely keep blazing the path.
Do you still have that brochure around, or?
I do.
Oh, you do? Outstanding.
I do.
Hopefully you frame it or something, but it's awesome. Did the dress up part of it fulfill your dreams? Did you think that's what you?
I did not.
When you got to West Point, and it was full corners, eating a pie and stuff like that.
I did not realize the amount of uniforms that there were, or different combinations thereof, but I was, or really also just the kind of the facade that a lot of the uniforms show, where you just have a cuff that looks like it's a long sleeve shirt, or certain different types of buttons, flat buttons, or with certain uniforms. I think I messed it up every single time, but in the footage you can't really tell. So we all look the same.
We all blend together once you have it all on and looking miserable out there in formation. So it all works out in the end there. You've done great things. Where do you see the company in 5 years? So,
So that's a great question. And honestly, just to even set that's an important question to always ask yourself individually. And if, young entrepreneurs or small business owners, having that plan. If you see behind me, I have our 3-year plan written out on our company poster. In 5 years from now, we're looking to have at least 250 doors under asset management, having completed at least 4 syndications. We've completed 1 so far, and to also have our single family residential business turn into a fund. We really want to start bringing on additional investors, providing opportunities for that side of the population as well. We're really starting to continue to build and strengthen the bridge that we've made with off-market residential direct to seller. And so now we're really wanting to increase our capability to rehab, take on more projects, and then also take on additional investors, so that we're providing value on the seller side as well as on the passive income for investors. So 5 years from now, we likely have a fund that's running, and then we're continuing to execute syndications through the value add space and commercial multifamily.
Awesome. And hopefully you keep your finger on the pulse of the CSP program as well. Not just at Fort Campbell, but all the bases that are doing it now, because you can take on our brothers and sisters from all those places and teach them what you've learned and hopefully bring them on. If it's not a fit for them, they'll know right away and they'll find another path for themselves at that point.
Absolutely. Franchising, our model that we do have is something that is routinely talked about. Timeline wise, we're a little unsure just because we want to make sure that we're not chasing any shiny objects or overextending our bandwidth, but we would all be full-time. As myself, Jordan, we're both still transitioning out. So being able to have full 100% focus and energy towards this in 5 years, definitely being able to utilize the CSP to likely franchise to additional markets as well is definitely something discussed internally.
Yeah, definitely. And I think as you guys grow, I mean, not many young entrepreneurs will have their 3-year plan posted behind them. So you got to read it every day and know this is my goal. 3 years, this is my goal. And like I asked you the 5-year plan, most people ask you 5, 10, and see where your steps are going to be. Do you want to keep expanding or do something different after 5 years? And most people forget about that portion. You can't just look at that shiny object and chase after it and try to chase that medal. You have to actually have a goal, have it in writing, so you look at it every day and say, hey, where am I hitting it? Am I missing something? And reevaluate how you're approaching that goal and make it to the finish line, of course.
Right. Absolutely. You have to, I need it in my face every day so that my actions are either stepping towards or stepping back from accomplishing that. And so it's good. It's great alignment for everyone. It's always good reminders. And especially when we do our weekly team syncs, it's one of the slides part of that so that we just see it, we know it, we're stepping, we're still stepping towards it.
Outstanding. I asked you earlier about the tips for transitioning soldiers or transitioning veterans. Now I'm going to ask you some tips for the floundering entrepreneur, the person that just has the idea, I want to start a business, maybe like you, while they were transitioning out, they already had it going, or they're starting after they've already transitioned. What 3 tips could you give them to maybe guide them to their success?
One, I would say is absolutely you have to educate yourself on the industry or the baseline knowledge of what it is that you're getting into. Spend a lot of time in books, listening to other podcasts, just gaining requisite knowledge overall. But number 2, and honestly, this is probably the most important tip, you have to just take action. You have to put yourself out there. You will not always know all the correct answers, but that's the best way is to learn, not necessarily to fail, but to put yourself in positions to where you start to realize what right looks like. If that's taking on investors to raise initial capital or, attending certain networking events about different types of, businesses that someone could initiate or start or be part of. But taking action is one of the biggest things because many people will do the studying, do the knowledge and whatnot, but then they don't feel confident enough to like put themselves out there and then take a step and take action. And then number 3, I would say is you have to document everything. Everything needs to be documented. So that way you have what we call our WACOR process, so that you can go back, refine it, make adjustments to it. So that way, if you were to bring on a new team member, or if you wanted to push or expand, you have that baseline foundation built out, written out, and then able to model off of, or help, better train and get someone up to speed on the level that you're at. So as far as 3 tips for really any entrepreneurial kind of initiative someone's taken, I would say those would be my big 3.
I think all 3 of them are awesome. Your tips for transitioning were awesome earlier. You have referenced your website. Would you like to say what your website is so the audience can hear it and know how to get to you?
Yeah, if people like typing it all out, it's www.mytennesseehomesolution.com. And you can see everything on there, our video testimonials, can meet the team, see some of our reviews and some of our previous work and just generally what we're doing.
And is that the best place for them to get in contact with you as well?
For me personally, I would say probably my personal social media. Instagram would probably be best. It's _Trey Chandler _. So that's probably one of the best ways, or finding me on Facebook. Again, just Trey Chandler. I love when people reach out. I'll try to answer everything because I think it's very important. Knowing when, again, I try to always come back to the mindset that I was in at that first conference I went to, feeling out of place. No one's really talking to me. I don't really know what to say. But having someone like Jordan there introducing me to people, helping me out, and then making me feel confident. So that's why when individuals reach out, I try to always take the time and put myself in that mindset of just starting out, and at least people are reaching out and taking action and looking to learn something more or, better themselves. So highly, would love for people to reach out.
Awesome. I'll call you Trey now instead of Charles.
Yeah.
So Trey, thanks for taking some of your time today, and of course being flexible to move it to today, and sharing your story, and of course your journey that you're on right now with the Misfit Nation. It's much appreciated, and good luck to you in all your endeavors in the future.
Absolutely. I wish, our little favorite motto of no slack,
That's right. Definitely.
MTHS
for life.
Yeah. That's awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
No problem.
The city's so in style. All you see for miles are people spilling in and out of cars. Man, all of these bars are making a killing. Everywhere I go, looks like a place to be. I see people that I know, but I feel like there's no one here but me. Downtown's dead without you. Girls walk by and friends say hi, but Friday night it might as well be just another Tuesday night without you. As long as you're still in my head, there ain't no way that I can paint a ghost town red. Downtown's dead. Downtown's dead. They're dancing in the strobe, out here in the throes of loud house music. Everything's a blur. I don't hear the words, but lips are moving. Tried to get involved, but I've about had enough. People wall to the wall, and I'm just holding it up. 'Cause downtown's dead without you. Girls walk by and friends say hi, but Friday night it might as well be just another Tuesday night without you. As long as you're still in my head, there ain't no way that I can paint a ghost town red. Downtown's dead. Downtown's dead. Free drinks, bright lights. What am I doing with my life? Okay, I quit. I've had enough of this. These people are losing their minds. Can't get you out of my head. I'm calling it a night. I'm crawling back to your bed. Downtown's dead without you. Girls walk by and friends say hi, but Friday night it might as well be just another Tuesday night without you. As long as you're still in my head, there ain't no way that I can paint a ghost town red. Downtown's dead. Downtown's dead.
You know how we do this. Thanks for taking some of your time to spend with us on Misfit Nation. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and share the link as much as possible. If you want to, please become a supporter to help us carry this thing on. We appreciate you. If you know someone that brings that energy, has a great story, is an up-and-comer in any industry of music, in the arts, have them reach out to us on themisfitnation.com. We will get back to them within one day and get them on here so they can share their story with the world. As always, till next time, be humble, stay hungry, and keep hustling, because we are Fit Nation.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp. I turned my collar to the cold and damp, when my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs and voices never shared, and no one dared disturb the sound of silence.